Okay, so we're here with Cindy. She's been doing Sanda. She actually started with Sanda, but I want you to basically, we've been kind of seeing MMA fights where people have a Sanda background, but maybe they'll try to blend it with jiu-jitsu or something. But we have Cindy here to give us her insights on like all the catch wrestling you've been doing and even jiu-jitsu. So how has Sanda helped with your grappling at all?
It has. They just happen to be blended together because I happened to be put on the work shifts that time. But I feel like definitely Sanda has elevated my grappling because of all the takedowns. Like catching the kicks, and doing takedowns from there definitely translate to single legs in grappling and staying dominant, staying standing. Honestly, like I don't stay standing while grappling if I do a takedown just because you want to follow them down. But staying dominant, staying on top, that's really translated really well into grappling.
Oh, great. So do you feel like maybe you're able to chain together some of the takedowns?
Yeah. Like if this single leg doesn't work, then I can translate and change it to another single leg, switch it over. Just knowing like those different single leg takedowns from different positions. If one doesn't work, just really works really well.
Oh, nice. Is there any favorite takedown that you have?
Head and arm right, or is it called cross buttocks?
Yeah, in England they call it cross buttocks. In the United States, usually we call it like a headlock throw.
Headlock throw, yeah. That one, the one we did recently, the over-under, has been those two I kind of get a lot, that I like to try to get a lot. If I get a single leg, then I kind of just trip them over my foot. That's what I learned in Sanda. Yeah, those are some of my favorite takedowns.
Okay, cool. Yeah, actually that's really cool that you bring it up because it's like, yeah, there's so much overlap with catch wrestling specifically and Sanda, so that it's like I wish more, say like even some of the Chinese fighters from China like integrated them, because yeah, I think. Or do you? Okay, so the next question then: do you feel like maybe catch wrestling and Sanda blend better than like Sanda and jiu-jitsu?
Agreed. Just yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a bridge, right, from the standing to the ground.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is very much standing to sitting down, whereas catch wrestling is a little more transitionary.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it definitely, Sanda and catch wrestling are a better duo than Sanda and jiu-jitsu. Not saying that I discourage it, but like, practice all fields.
Yeah, so kind of like the Sanda and the catch wrestling kind of fill in a lot of these gaps between when you're actually standing all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way because, say, doing any other kickboxing style that doesn't have as much of or doesn't have takedowns or very many, then there's a lot of holes there, right?
Yeah.
So then you'd feel like for MMA, like the Sanda and the catch wrestling is a good blend?
It's a very strong blend.
Yeah.
Because jiu-jitsu is a very takedown heavy, and Sanda definitely fills in that gap.
Awesome. I agree. So thank you for. So I didn't ask her to say that. So, is her honest opinion from training here for a couple of years now? So yeah, and you've already won a jiu-jitsu tournament. So it's like you already understand jiu-jitsu pretty well too. So I think that's why you're qualified to say all this stuff,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So it's like Cindy has been. Or actually, go and tell us what you've been doing. So you've done a few different things, right? A few different grappling stuff, so you kind of have a good perspective.
I mean, sadly, just because it's not as prominent as jiu-jitsu, we train at a jiu-jitsu gym, and roles have been going good. I still do catch wrestling classes here at UCLA. I still do Sanda classes, and it's really fun being able to practice my takedowns all the time.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because then I think sometimes when you understand the takedowns too, like, say like if someone takes you down, you already kind of know how to counter too.
Yeah.
So I'll use that a lot. So in catch wrestling, that can be one of your strategies, where to get the fight to the ground, it's like just let them take you down. But if you don't know how to follow through, yeah, then you'll be in trouble. But then catch wrestling would help the Sanda fighter to know what to do, even if you are taken down in an MMA situation. So. That's why it's one strategy in catch wrestling. So something very valuable to know as well. Instead of just being on your back in an MMA situation, then they can ground and pound you. So catch wrestling would teach you maybe like, say like what's happening now a lot in MMA is like people are using wrestling or wrestling techniques like tripods, quad pod stuff to actually get back to standing. So wrestling teaches that. All right. So any other like anything you'd want to encourage like a Sanda person to know or to with regards to the grappling stuff?
I just encourage people to try it because cross train. It's if you like takedowns, you should try wrestling because it's a lot more fun once it keeps going on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, minus the kicking and punching, but it's one less thing to defend.
Yeah, and then with regards to say like the amateur wrestling and the catch wrestling, then you also have the submission holds or the wrestling. They're wrestling holds. They're ways to keep control of the person, but you can totally submit them with these same holds. It'd be like stuff that are nowadays called submissions, like the double wrist lock, or they call it kimura. All that stuff is there. And so you've been called a jiu-jitsu person, right? And
Yes.
can you tell us that story? What happened when you had a jiu-jitsu match against a wrestler, and then you saw that in Brazil you're a famous athlete.
So in that match, this girl was really aggressive. She kept pushing me out of the ring and then to the ref, and she took me down with some insane guillotine throw, and I ended up beating her because she just, I don't know, she just couldn't maintain top. Well, she did maintain top position, but even then she left her limbs exposed, and then I got her in a kimura even from bottom.
Yeah.
And then my reel got posted or stitched to some Brazilian guy that he didn't even tag me.
Yeah. But yeah, he was speaking Portuguese, and he was basically saying that. So the other girl is a wrestler, and look at her wrestling, but not knowing like all the submissions. But then he was calling Cindy a jiu-jitsu girl or whatever. So since Cindy knew the double wrist lock, she ended up submitting this wrestler girl using it, and so then they're like, "Well, look at the power of jiu-jitsu," right? But it's the power of catch wrestling. But it's we don't mind. At least just remember me at Christmas. Throw me something of all now that you're a famous celebrity in Brazil. Do you speak Portuguese?
Nope.
You got to learn because you're like the jiu-jitsu goddess over there.
I'm a legit Brazilian now.
Yeah, cool. All right, so ultimately, Sanda's a really cool sport, say especially for MMA or even like all kinds of things. But like Sanda, you pretty much you have the takedown and then that's it. You have to stand back up. Catch wrestling would be one of the more ideal ways where it's like it kind of blends so well with the Sanda, where it's has the same kind of approach to the match as Sanda, where it's just kind of start standing, go down. Jiu-jitsu kind of is like start on the ground, like not, so it's a little bit different. So, so you would encourage people to do both or to do, yeah. So take it from Cindy here. She's famous in Brazil. So you definitely blend the both, Sanda and catch wrestling. I think it'll really improve your overall martial art ability. All right, so I think that was good. So we'll go ahead and see you next time. And check out this video down here.